It's rare that a podcast can pull you into a fictional universe so deeply that you forget it never actually existed, but that's exactly what Are You Afraid of the Dark Universe accomplishes. Over the course of 3 meticulously crafted phrases, hosts Dalton Deschain and Dylan Roth have built something far greater than a parody or a tribute. What began as a fun speculative exercise, what if Universal's failed Dark Universe had actually worked, blossomed into one of the most original and emotionally gripping storytelling podcasts I've ever experienced. This isn't just a podcast about monsters, it's a podcast about vision, about taking a cultural what if and spinning it into an epic narrative with its own arcs, character development, themes, and heartbreaking stakes. The show's early episodes feel like the exciting buzz of a writer's room mixed with fanboy glee. Dalton and Dylan draft their own connected Dark Universe film slate, starting with The Mummy 2017 and building outwards. But they don't stop at the surface level idea. Each episode evolves into full-fledged pitches, complete with casting choices, creative director picks, and rich narrative outlines. They don't just tell you about the movie, they perform it. As the podcast progresses, their scene readings, sound design, and production values grow more sophisticated. By the time The Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, and Creature from the Black Lagoon are pitched, the immersion is near cinematic. What's impressive is how sincere it all is. This isn't a parody or a satire, it's a love letter. And it treats the monsters not as caricatures, but as tragic figures, as metaphors, as deeply flawed and fascinating people. With the universe now established, the hosts begin diving deeper, experimenting with tone, introducing crossovers, and giving weight to each character's journey. There's a sense of propulsion here. The world starts to feel lived in, the stakes heighten, the certain plot threads introduced in Phase 1 begin to pay off in Phase 2 in complex and emotional ways. Phase 2 is where the podcast shifts from impressive creative concept to genuinely compelling saga. The serialized format and callbacks start to hit harder. Themes of grief, legacy, obsession, and sacrifice begin to thread through every new installment. The horror deepens not just in blood and shadows, but in an emotional resonance. And somehow, even with all this going on, it's still fun. The energy between friends Dalton and Dylan is infectious. Their shared passion for genre storytelling is never lost amidst the pathos. Then came Phase 3, and it floored me. It feels like just yesterday they introduced the entire film lineup. This final arc is nothing short of operatic. The tension, the betrayals, the alliances forged and broken, it's not just good podcasting, it's some of the best fictional storytelling I've heard in any medium. Characters we've grown to love over the course of dozens of imagined films are tested to their limits. Tragedy strikes, villains ascend, heroes fall, but it's never cheap. Every twist is earned. Every emotional gut punch has weight. The mythology expands without losing clarity, and by the final few episodes, the stakes feel existential. And then, in those closing chapters, somehow, it becomes tear-jerking. These monster stories, born from century-old films and modern fandom dreams, morph into profound reflections on identity, legacy, love, and fear. The final moments left me silent, not because of shock, but because of the immense respect I felt for what this show had achieved. Are You Afraid of the Dark Universe is a masterpiece of audio storytelling, creativity, and world building. It's a podcast that dares to ask what if and then answers it with depth, humor, tragedy, and beauty. From their own pitches to their own friends and guests coming in to add to the universe, they take everything and build upon it with care and love. It's not just for horror fans or monster lovers, it's for anyone who believes in the power of storytelling. Every movie in their fictional universe feels real, every arc has a payoff, every joke, tear, and scream is delivered with intention. By the time the credits roll in Phase 3, you'll feel like you just lived through an entire cinematic universe, which you did. And honestly, I'd take this over most of the real ones.
In 2017, Universal Studios announced the birth of a new shared universe of monster movies, bringing their classic horror icons into the contemporary franchise film landscape. But after the critical and financial failure of its first installment, the project was indefinitely abandoned. Now, in 2024, the powers that be have called upon one pulp horror devotee and one snarky film critic to unearth the concept. I'm Dylan Roth.
And I'm Dalton Deschain.
Are you afraid of the dark universe?
Tune in every Friday for new movie videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below what other movies you would like me to do videos on. Thank you, Mom, for editing the scripts for my movie essays. I appreciate you. Till next time, thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.